Ready? Yeah. Hey, what up guys? It's Charlie here and this is my girlfriend Brianna.
Hello.
And we're gonna answer some questions people had about how my transition affected our relationship and things like that. There's gonna be 2 parts of this video, and the first part is about the coming out. So the first question is, did you know that I was trans when you met me?
No. No idea. No idea at all. I just knew that there was something that was clearly not working for you in your life, and I didn't know what it was. And so when you came out, it made a lot of sense.
So how did I come out? It was like a Friday night or something, and I came back home from this party I was at. It was like a fundraiser actually, and I told you that I wanted to start testosterone.
Yeah. Give a lot of credit and appreciation to the guys that you met and helped you understand that. I think that support and that community is super awesome and important.
I don't know, I just did it really naturally. When I realized like how I felt like that I could put words to it and call it being trans and all that, I felt really relieved in a way.
It made so much sense.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just everything just made
fell
so
into
much
place.
sense.
It was like, oh, of course, that's what it is.
How did you react?
I'm pretty sure that at first I didn't entirely grasp that you meant, I feel like I need to, like I am trans and I need to go through this transition. Like I at first just kind of heard the word testosterone, and at first I was like, oh, totally, you need that. Yeah, you should start some tea because it would make you feel way better about all these things. But then later it was like, okay, right, I get it. I was really happy actually. Yeah, I don't know, my reaction was pretty, oh.
Yeah, well, that was a good reaction. I was scared, obviously. Coming out is not really easy, but
where I come from, it's such a, like, I don't know, normal, okay thing. I'm really fortunate and privileged to grow up and be from Vancouver, where in some parts of, my community, people are really open and cool with that kind of thing. So I was actually just really relieved to figure out what it is that can be helped and will make you feel better.
How hard was it to get used to the new names and pronouns?
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't. And anybody that talks about that as being like really difficult for them, I really don't have time for it. It's such a simple, easy thing to make room for, I think. It fit. It fit perfectly with who you are, and it made you feel so much better, and it just made sense. I don't know. It's funny to think of using female pronouns or ever having referred to you as just Lou a while back. It's like weird.
Yeah. How did you identify before I came out, and how did that change?
Before you came out, I identified as a lesbian, but also somewhat pansexual. But that's because I consider sexuality in general to be pretty pansexual. I think it's kind of silly to identify it at all, because I think you go through experiences and your sexuality changes, so it's just a silly thing to try and put a label on. But if I have to, before I was a lesbian, I consider myself pansexual, but also right now, because I'm in a relationship with a boy, heterosexual. So if people ask me, normally I'm saying I'm straight, because right now I am.
The next question is, how did my coming out affect our relationship?
In a good way? I don't know. Yeah, in a good way. The trials that your relationship goes through, no matter who you're dating, are gonna affect your relationship. So like, your coming out it put a new language on things, it made things a lot easier, but of course there are like shit you have to go through. Being trans is just like anything, you know, there are times when it's rough. That's how it is.
Before I came out, there was this problem about me, and like, it's like I felt like shit and I didn't know why, and she didn't know why, and she wanted me to talk, like, to explain to her why, but I couldn't explain to her why because I had no idea why. And then when I came out, everything was kind of better.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this is what's going on.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Next question is, if you have any advice or anything to say to somebody whose partner came out as trans?
Yeah, I have a lot of tips. Actually, no, I don't have a lot of tips, but I do feel strongly that if you are in a relationship with somebody who is going to be transitioning, you need to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to support that fully. If you find that you can't, then don't do it. because the health of that person is the priority, and it's not appropriate to make something like that about you. And if you are going to be in a relationship with somebody who's transitioning, you need to be supportive, and that means completely supportive. Yeah. And also, like, it's not a big deal, too. It's really that. Listen to that person. If you're cis, that is an experience you with an understanding, you need to realize that and acknowledge that and gender dysphoria specifically. It's like a deep, complicated, hard thing to understand. So if you're gonna be there for that person, you need to listen to that person.
So that's pretty much what we had to say about coming out and how that affected our relationship and stuff like that. And in the next part of this video, we'll talk about how testosterone affected the relationship and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Thanks, guys.